Alright, David Harry here, and in this video I'm going to be taking this tiny little computer, which is the latest 11th gen Intel NUC, and this is the i7 Panther Canyon variety. I'm going to be using this with Edius 10 to see if we can edit 8K video on a tiny little computer like this one. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do here is dive into the project settings. Let's see what's going on, and then we'll have a quick look at the media as well. We'll see what's going on with the media. Now, as far as the project settings are concerned, we are in 8K UHD. And right now we will just keep calling this 8K because we know it is UHD. And then as we come further down here, we will see we are in 25 frames per second. So this is ever so slightly faster than film 24, but also that means that we require a little bit more processing power as well to work at 25 frames per second. So if you were working at 24, whatever you see here is definitely achievable at 24. Also, we are in 10 bits as well as far as the project is concerned, which is quite important because I will show that shortly with the media. And obviously we're internally processing here for an output of 422 chroma subsampling. Now what we'll do, we'll have a quick look at this media, and if I go to properties here, we are in once again 8K UHD. We're at 25 frames per second, so we're matching the project settings. And also because it's HQX, it is going to be 10-bit, and it also has a chroma subsampling of 422. Now, this footage has not come from a camera that's capable of 8K, because the only camera that I've got that'll do 8K is actually my smartphone of all things. I've got one of those new Samsung S21s which actually does 8K, but that's only 8-bit 420, so I thought for the sake of this exercise it would be probably a bit better, maybe a bit easier as well, just to upscale and like transcode other footage. So that footage that has been upscaled and transcoded has been all this footage here. Now, if anyone's seen my 4K example of Edius 10 on this NUC system, this is the same footage that was used for the 4K variation of the kind of testing and stuff. If you've not seen it, there might be a link on the screen right now, but there'll be one in the description to this video. Anyway, so as far as this footage is concerned, this is obviously all 4K, it's 25 frames per second, it's XAVCS, and because of that, it is only 8-bit 420. So by the time we upscale and transcode to HQX here, this HQX file, although it is obviously, 8K at this point, we don't gain anything as far as resolution is concerned. And obviously, as far as it being 10-bit, it is only padded from 8-bit, and its chroma subsampling is also the same. It's just padded from 420 to 422. However, nonetheless, all of these clips here, these are all now 10-bit 8K 422 as far as the processing and as far as the files are concerned, which leads me to this. Now look at how impressive this is. We are in full here, so full 10-bit at 8K with this 8K media, and watch this. Plug in for power. Now, nearly most of them that require power do it the same way, as in they have to have a USB-C in like that to take power. However, this is the first one that I've found also has USB-C. Right there, that has got to be one of the most impressive things I've ever seen on any computer. Right, what you have to remember right now is, because we are using HQX, what's going on here is that we are CPU bound as far as the decoding of HQX is concerned, and any possible processing that may have to happen to the files. Now, this NUC is only got a 4-core 8-thread CPU on it, which is a 28-watt CPU. So this CPU is basically a laptop CPU. So right now we are not touching anything to do with the iGPU or QuickSync, because HQX doesn't require that. Now, if I jump down here and go to these clips here, what I'm about to do is play to you 4K footage which has to be upscaled in real time to 8K. Will this play in real time? to external hard drives. But during the process, there was a folder that I hadn't worked out, hadn't been backed up, and I deleted it. Well, the answer to that is a massive yes. Anyways, yeah, so I think basically this is the point of this video. I'm not going to go into all kinds of mad, crazy examples on this one. This is just to show people that right now, what we could do is mix and match any of this footage here, whether it be the 8K originated footage here, or whether it be the 4K footage here. We could mix and match and chop and change any of that footage and do a load of cutting, and we will be in real time all the way through it. Now, we could obviously also go down to say, like color stuff and, titling and fades and all the rest of it. But as my previous video had shown you, all we would have to do with stuff like that is to simply back off a little bit as far as resolution is concerned in order to maintain real-time ability. In fact, let me just show one or two quick things, and I mean really quick here, because like I say, I don't want this video to get bogged down like the last one, but I can't help myself because I just love what's going on here. Right, so what I'm going to do is do one of my famous grades. So let me just get a bit of color stuff on the go here. Oh, don't you just love that green look that's going on there? Don't get me angry. Hey. Right, okay, that was me thing for the Hulk, by the way. Right, let's go super green. There we go. Right, so right now there is no doubt that there's something gone on with that picture which requires a serious amount of processing. Now, what we're going to do here is leave it in full. It won't play. You have to have a USB. Okay, now what I'm going to do is drop it to 8-bit and it won't play. Seeing like that to take power. Okay, and I think when we get to a half here, it will play. However, this is the first one that I've found, which also has USB-C. Once again, not only did it play, but it filled up the buffer fairly quickly. But what may be even more important here is if I take that fantastic color grade and apply it to one of these 4K XAVCS files, look at this. In the top, it's also got a 1/4-20 on the bottom here, and it also screws and tightens, and it can actually take. Not only did that play in real time, but if we watch carefully, it fills up the buffer quicker. So look at the buffer down here. You'll have to go full screen on YouTube or whatever to see some of the things going on the screen, but check the buffer. Various width type phones, it's awesome, this little bracket. That filled dead quick. Now, if we have a look at the HQX one, although it does fill the buffer, it's not quite as quick. However, this is the first one that I've found, which also has USB-C as a data connector. So no matter how we look at this, that is all very impressive. Obviously, this footage down here is being assisted by QuickSync and various other things to do with the iGPU. However, obviously, the HQX stuff here isn't, because, this is obviously software bound here. So we are only relying upon the cores of the processor to do all of this. I mean, obviously, the color stuff here is getting a little bit of a hand from the iGPU because I've set that as far as the renderer for the primary color corrector is concerned. But nonetheless, no matter how we kind of cut and dice this up, this is very, very impressive. Also as well, at a half resolution here on the screen, what we're seeing here is going to look exactly the same as it will do at full resolution. So right now, that is full resolution. Now, when I hit the spacebar and go into play, we are effectively going to see something that looks identical. As a data connector also on top of the USB-C. Actually, that's probably a bad example because that color grade has battered the picture. Let me just take the grade off. Right, so what it is, in pause mode right now, we are in full resolution. So this is 8K right now. When I hit the space bar, it drops resolution down to play, and it's going to play it at a half. But because we are still not optically close to 8K, because we're only recording and viewing in 4K, what's going to happen is we are basically going to see the exact same resolution when I hit play. power. Now, nearly most of them that require power do it the same way as in the after. Seriously, how impressive is that? And just to prove the point, if I go to a 16th, whilst we are parked in pause mode, we are in full res. As soon as I hit the spacebar, go to play mode, the picture will go fuzzy because it is going to drop the resolution in play mode. Have a USB-C in like that to take power. So as we can see, when we are in a half, we are effectively still watching something that looks identical. However, this is the first one that I've found. I'm going to say identical, I mean as far as resolution is concerned. Okay, so I think that'll probably do it for this. Like I say, with my previous video to do with the 4K variant of using Edius 10 with this Intel NUC, I did go into a lot more kind of stuff on there. But as people will understand and know, who kind of understand Edius and understand, you know, the computing power necessary to do particular tasks, you can see from this exactly what you could get away with a system like this. But I think the bottom line and the main point that I'm trying to make here is just quite simply, in full mode here, we can edit all day long at 8K. Rode Video Mic NTG. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn. That to me is just massively insane. Okay, so like I said, I'll leave the video at that now. I've proven enough here as to what's going on. And I think anybody, like I say, who understands what's going on here will definitely understand why this is so impressive. Also, there's a number of things that I'm going to be doing as well coming up with this NUC system. And one of them is a very focused video, which also hopefully I can keep short. And that is to show 8K export and using HEVC, which is using QuickSync to do it. And the reason very quickly why that is going to be a very impressive video to show people is because nobody who's got anything other than an 11th gen CPU can actually export 8K using any version of Edius unless you're using a graphics card of the NVIDIA variety, because the only way you can actually export 8K using anything at the moment, unless it's obviously or outside of this 11th gen processor range, is by using NVENC. But this particular little tiny computer can actually export 8K, and I will show that in another video. Anyways, David, shut up. You've done really well not to drag this one out too long, so get off while the going's good. Anyways, yeah, if you're into this stuff, then just go to www.edius.co.uk, and this is going to take you to wherever this video is, my new YouTube channel. Eventually it will become a website and all the rest of it. I'm going to populate this channel with all my old videos as well and try and keep all my stuff sectioned off for Edius in one kind of like handy place and not get it all mixed up with my main stuff on my main channel. Anyways, yeah, if you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel, getting all over that bell notification icon thing in the process. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.